Welcome to Total Self-Defense Limited. This is the first DVD we're going to doing, and it's the Red Belt syllabus. This will be the first DVD in many DVDs, and we're going to start off showing you how to defend yourself from various attacks using Jiu Jitsu stances. So I'll go over to this section here. Sensei Maxi, if you can jump into a left-hand Jiu Jitsu stance for me. As you can see, Sensei Maxi's got the majority of the weight on his rear leg, okay, 75 to 80%, and 15 to 20% on the front leg. The reason in Jiu Jitsu we do this and we don't have a strong stance like in other styles is because we want to protect our front leg and also be able to use the front leg to kick in an attack. So if you give a little snap kick for me, Peter, like so. Also, if an attacker comes in and tries to sweep the front leg, it's not vulnerable for that sort of attack. And also, if he comes in and tries to kick the leg will ride a thrust kick or a snap kick type attack. Also, in this type of stance, you'll notice the foot is going to be at a 45-degree angle, so it's slightly turned to that direction. And this is because if we do get a kick into the side of the knee, the leg will ride the kick like such. However, if you don't do that and your foot is pointed, when the kick comes in, it can still follow through, hence breaking the leg. Okay, now we're going to right-hand stance for me. Exactly the same principle, right-hand stance. We've got the rear leg, 75-80%. The front leg, the weight's not in it. Again, if I come through for a sweeping technique, the weight's not involved. If I come through for a side kick, you can ride the kick. Nice and comfortable in his stance and relaxed. Okay, if you jump back for me, what we do now is go into a horse stance. So we drop back nice and low, hands, fist dropped tightly by the side, chest out, back nice and straight. Control your breathing. Nice deep breaths through the nose, out for the mouth, and totally relaxed. From this position, we can switch into any type of stance. So we're going to jump up into a cat stance with the left leg forward. Okay, as you can see, his left leg's forward again, but this time the majority of the weight is on the rear leg, 90-95%, hence leaving the cat stance, leaving the left leg available for kicking, so he can kick the left leg, snap, right hand cat stance, switching, again kicking with the leading leg, snap, okay, and then back into horse stance, get his breathing controlled again, nice deep breaths, in for the nose, out for the mouth, and then up into a nice finish, feet together, and totally relaxed, okay, and these are your basic stances. Take your time when you're doing these stances and control your breathing. Okay, what we'll demonstrate for you now is some breakfalls, which is one of the first things you learn in Jiu Jitsu. It's very important to learn breakfalls because 90% or 95% of fatal injuries on the ground is when someone is pushed or struck to the floor and they bang their head off the floor, causing a hemorrhage and internal bleeding. So what Sensei Maxi will demonstrate to you is one of our first breakfalls, which is a rolling breakfall, which is what you'll learn when someone comes at you and hits you physically from behind with a bottle or kicks you, and your momentum takes you completely forward into the ground. So Sensei Maxi, as we learn this technique, he goes down onto his right knee, okay, his left hand, puts his leg out, and gets in the position on the mat. And this is the first thing you'll be learning, is how to get yourself correctly positioned onto the floor. And then he's going to roll over for me, up into a Jiu-Jitsu stance, okay? And if you just jump round for me, Peter, face it, so they can see what sort of stances you come up into, and from a defence, okay? And if you turn around and come back, what we'll demonstrate this time is I'm going to do the exact, Sensei Max is going to do the exact same technique, but I'm going to actually strike him from behind. So as a strike comes in, he's going to roll forward, come up into a Jiu-Jitsu stance, facing me, his attacker. Here we go. And right, the next breakfall we're going to demonstrate for you is a front breakfall. Again, this is when someone's attacked from behind, although the momentum is not taken them as far forward, so they're going to be struck more on a downward strike, crashing them towards the floor. So Sensei Max is going to get on his knees for me. This is how we start to learn this breakfall, so that when he lands, away you go Sensei Maxi, he'll land. Stay there. As you can see, his midsection is off the mat, and he's landed with his hand, his elbow, and the whole of his forearm. That's the actual breakfall itself, okay? His top section's off, and he's lifting his knees off the mat. He'll lift his knees off there. That's how he will land when he does it from a standing position in a minute. Okay, up we get. This time he's going to do it from a standing position. So if an attacker comes from behind, okay, and struck him, that's how he would land. So strike comes in, lands in that position, As you can see, right across his midsection, his knees are protected, his abdominal, his groin, the whole lot is protected, and he lands in this position here. That's the front breakfall. Now we're going to go on to the back breakfall. He turns the other way for me. The back breakfall, again, if Sensei Maxi squats down for me, he'll squat down, arms across his chest, and just demonstrate to you a back breakfall. Away you go. Okay, having demonstrated the back breakfall, Sensei Max is on the floor now. He's in the defensive position. As you can see, his legs up to protect himself. He's got his arms quite high, a little bit higher. There you go, protecting his face. So if the attacker struck and he's in this type of position, Sensei Maxi can kick out with his leading leg and protect himself. Also, if the attacker wants to run around and throw a kick, okay, he can get into a defensive position again. As you notice, he's got his left leg up, he's got his arms up to protect his face. So if a kick comes in this direction, his face is protected, midsection, legs protecting there, and he's also covered in that direction. Up we get. Now what we're going to demonstrate now is a side break falls, and the reason we demonstrate side break falls, again, if an attacker strikes you from the side, which this happens a majority of the time in a street attack, an attacker will throw a right or left hook, okay, you go to the floor, as you go to the floor you'll smash your knee, you could break your wrist, your fingers. So what Sensei Max is going to demonstrate here is how to fall correctly. So we'll do it from a standing position first, so away he goes, the strike comes in, down he goes. As you can see, as he landed, he had his left arm straight, that's it, okay. Right arm up to protect, left leg straight, also the right leg is out, okay. So again, as the attacker struck, he can kick out with the right leg, okay, and draw it back in to protect himself. As the attacker runs round, he could switch into a defensive position to protect himself yet again, okay, and that's exactly how you should finish. Up again, please. From the other side. Again, the attacker comes in from this angle now. As the attacker strikes, one, landing on the floor, leg straight, kick out with the leading leg to protect yourself. Again, if the attacker run around the side to throw a kick or a punch in, into a defensive and a protective position. Okay, here we go. Right, next we have a 4-flap breakfall. Now, a 4-flap breakfall is designed if an attacker grabs you and throws you completely over the top. Okay, we want to protect our spinal cord, so when we get thrown over the top, we're going to land safely and correctly, and this is done by using not the heels of the feet, but the flat part of the feet, not just the heels, because you'll cause bruising there. So from there, Sensei Max will get into position, his head's on the floor, and he's just, over he goes, keeping his spine off the mat, protecting his spine, making sure it's clear, the way's clear, drops down into a defensive position yet again, from an attack. Again, attacks coming around that way, you can drop into a defensive position from there as well. Okay, we go. And relax. Okay, now we're going to demonstrate some of the reasons why we need to use break falls. We're going to go over to this section here. We've got Sensei Matt Stacey in the front, Sensei Peter Maxey. He's going to demonstrate to you what could happen if you didn't fall correctly, or shall I say, when you do fall correctly, if someone grabbed both feet from behind. So away you go. As you can see, Sensei Stacey protecting his face there. If he didn't have his arms there, his face would be smashing straight into the ground, and he's quite safe in doing that. Up you get. Facing the attacker. A headbutt this time. Again, break fall correctly, nice defensive position. Up you get. All right, a head chancery this time. Let's have a head chancery. Okay, as you can see, 4-flat break fall demonstrated there. Attackers threw him over the top, landed quite safely. Up we get. And side break fall. As you can see, a nice kick, keeping the attacker at bay, completed the break fall and defended adequately. Up we get. Other side, please. Okay, and again, a nice break fall, kicking with the left leg this time. Right, what we're going to show you here is a little scenario. We're going to have Pete push Matt, he's going to do a rolling break fall. He's going to come up and retaliate, and Pete is going to do a back breakfall. So away we go.